15th in the bar. Time and place?
6 p.m., Navarre Library, and we have been getting the Tea Parties to help us get this book written specifically for legislators, Sharia law for non-Muslims, get that in the hands of our legislators so that they understand what the heck is going on. If any of you have direct relationship with somebody, get with us and we'll try to get this to you. Al.
Just one more thing in reference to the border. It was released today that, I'm sure if you followed it, there was a Border Patrol agent that was killed here, I think within the last 2 weeks, so protecting our border, let's say. It was released today that when this gun battle started, he was issued a shotgun. That's what he had as his arms. He had beanbag rounds in the shotgun. And when they fired the beanbag rounds is when the Mexicans opened up with their automatic AK-47s and subsequently killed this agent and wounded quite a few others. So this is how serious your government's taking what's going on there.
And the lady that talked about prisons, this is part of another slower effort called Creeping Sharia. And you can look up a website called Creeping Sharia, and they send out stuff. And this is part of what's going on the side. They're recruiting in prisons. They're recruiting on the internet. We have the no-go zones in the foreign countries. Actually, in France, there are 751 no-go zones where law enforcement doesn't even enter because they could be killed because Sharia is king there. They can honor kill their families. They can beat their wives within those areas. And anybody that enters those communities because they do not assimilate are under Sharia law and under the threat of death. And that applies in Denmark, the Netherlands, and UK. Did you know the UK allows 4 wives? For welfare, if you come in as a Muslim, you will be granted welfare for 4 of your wives and all of those children. And that also applies, I think I read that applies, in Holland or the Netherlands, I'm not sure. But you have, they stop book publications, you have assaults on free speech. Anybody that draws anything about Muhammad is under threat. There are few women's rights, there are few children's rights. There's Saudi hate curriculums that are allowed to happen. There's an Islamic academy in Virginia where they're teaching children to hate Jews, to hate infidels, and that is allowed to continue. Fortunately, the ACLU is involved in that particular thing, and I hope for once they do the right thing and roll in on that one. They are infiltrating our textbooks. And I have a list in my bag of textbooks that have been infiltrated with a pro-Islamic bias and are being actively used in the state of Florida. This is a travesty, but it's not going to stop unless we make people aware and knowledgeable, and more people like myself get involved because, as I said, if we don't draw a line in the sand, we get what we get. And what is out there is pretty frightening.
Shouldn't Christians have more babies? Because seriously, a lot of that's a simple answer.
That is exactly, you are exactly right.
In Italy, there are mayors of certain towns who are offering women something like $30,000 to have a baby because Italy, which used to be, I don't know if it is now, a Catholic country, they're not having babies. And she's right about the Muslims with the 7-point per whatever.
7-point
Christian countries are having no children.
You're exactly right.
We're becoming gays, and that's another form of birth control.
and then we've got,
and I think Christians should have one.
and we've got the federal subsidies of Planned Parenthood. And back to your point. Back to your point.
Started Planned a long time ago.
Right, Planned Parenthood.
She was not the nicest lady in the world.
Back to your point about the procreation and the children. We, those of you that are interested in this subject, if you will look on YouTube for something called Muslim Demographics. It's titled, go to youtube.com, type in Muslim Demographics. You will find a YouTube that will explain the numbers game with the population and how by 2050, actually by 2070, excuse me, by 2070, we will be a Muslim nation in the United States at these particular rates. Also, the Muslim cleric training for the military, the United States military, can be directly tied back to sponsors of terror that were in there teaching our military Muslim pastors, if you will, a terror background and how to conduct jihad, okay? And during Desert Storm, Saudi Arabia was coming up with money, $20,000 to $30,000 per military officer to convert from Christianity to Islam. If you were enlisted, $10,000 to $15,000. So this is what's going on, and this is what needs to stop. Any other quick questions?
The other thing I was in education one time. About 1970, they started taking civics out of the classroom.
Oh,
It's
exactly.
gone on a long time.
Exactly.
I mean, you take your average kid, they don't even know what a mayor is.
That's
We need to put civics.
exactly right, and that's why we need more people to join this cause. Bob, last
I
question.
have two things to offer constructive, solution-wise, is letters to the editor. That our legislative elected officials need to know there's support out there for the populace.
Very
This
good point.
documents it, okay?
Very good
The other
point.
thing I suggest is we consider ways of forming teams of 50 where if we have a position we want to make known to our legislator, we get 50 people to contact that legislator so that he knows there's more than just Bob Reddy griping about something or thinking about something.
And maybe some of the new people, that came tonight will be on the newsletter list, and we can. Who would like this magnetic sign for their car? Because I have 3 of them on my car, and it says, "Freedom yes, Sharia Islamic law no, actforamerica.org."
You gotta take her over there. He raised his hand first.
Who?
Right over there. And then on the tan jacket.
To Harry. Wear it with pride on your car. Thank you. No, don't.
Thank you so